Welcome to Behind the Scenes here in the Creepy Crawler's Garage, guys. It's Wednesday again, so I was going to give you guys a look at what's going on here in the garage. As we speak, I'm actually here working on the Highway 1 crawler. This is what we were working on in last Sunday's episode. We were adding in some inner fenders. Wanted to give you guys a little better look. I don't know how well I showed these inner fenders in last Sunday's episode, so I thought I'd give you guys just a little better look at them. They look pretty nice, I think. We had to modify them a little bit. Just because the Marlin Crawler, turns out, I didn't realize this, but the Marlin Crawler shock towers are actually taller than stock Trailfinder 2 shock towers. These inner fenders are for a Trailfinder 2. So these inner fenders are supposed to fit over the Trailfinder 2 shock tower. Because these are so much taller, basically I just had to cut them out so that the shock towers pop through the inner fenders, and then I had to use a little strap of styrene just to give them their form and shape back. But it came out pretty good. I think they look pretty good. Coming up this Sunday, we'll build a firewall, and we're going to add the ESC. So look for that in this Sunday's episode coming up of the RC shop. Also, of course, we were working on the Ugly Bubba interior, and we finished up the seating area, the back wall, all that stuff. And then we were starting on a center console, center tunnel kind of setup. Where we're going to need this for an ESC and just to cover up all the motor and the transmission and all that stuff down the middle. And it was a bit of a chore. If you saw last episode, I'm having a bit of a struggle with it because of the Pimpin' Crawler chassis. In fact, let me aim over there. You can see it here. This Pimpin' Crawler chassis is I think Lee said it best. It's like building a ship in a bottle. It's a little tough, especially considering this interior is going to have to be able to come out and back in and out and back in. So what's the best way to do that when you have 1x2 areas that you can fit through, or just a little bit of a slit underneath, through if you drop the cross member and whatnot. So that's kind of what I've been struggling with. If you saw last episode, this is what we've got so far. This will actually be square. This can fit right up through the center. If I drop the center cross member, the motor and all that, this will fit up from beneath. And then I think I will use those screws to mount. So I think that'll work okay. I'm gonna have, I think I showed you guys, I'm gonna have this is just a very rough dash, but the dash itself is gonna connect. It's going to connect to the center tunnel, so then that'll be solid. This will fit in up top and then connect here. We'll build in a gauge cluster and then a steering wheel and all that, of course. But so anyways, that's what we're doing. That's the main thing we're doing this week. I'm doing all that off camera, I guess you can say, just so I can get it done, so that on camera for next week's episode we can start doing the things like building out the gauge cluster and all the really cool stuff, right? That's the stuff you really want to see. I'll show you how this comes out. That's why I'm not showing the truck too much, because I don't really, you got to tune in Sunday to see that. But that's the two projects we mainly have going on. The third project that I've really got to get on now, because man, it's just creeping up on me, is the Frank special. So I've got to get on Frank to get that finished, because we are I think it's about 12 subscribers away from that 1,000 subscriber mark, which is when we're going to do the big blowout here in the shop. And we're going to give that thing away to one of you guys. So I'm going to get him on working on that, again, probably in the background, so we'll have it ready. And then I'm trying to find the best way to do the giveaway. I want to make sure it's... I think there's some services out there that'll do this for you, that you can enter through. I just want to make sure everybody knows it's on the up and up and that there's no funny business. So I'd like to almost have the way you enter into it kind of out of my hands, and it's handled by somebody else that actually makes the drawing and then picks the winner. So I'm hoping maybe this Sunday I'll have that for you guys. So be sure to watch this Sunday, because either this Sunday or next Sunday, depending on, I've got to work all the logistics out on it. We'll have the ability for you guys to enter to win the Frank special, and then also we'll be showcasing it, getting back at it. It's been a while since we've even had it on the show, so we'll get it back into the show so you can see it. So that's the main things going on in the shop right now. And then I had a really good question that was left on one of the episodes, was left on the channel from a viewer that goes by the name Speedy Nunya. And it really, I guess the question, I really liked it because I guess it kind of brought out the nerd in me a little bit. And I think about this all the time, and I don't know how much you guys do either. So before I address the question, I want to also say this question is going to be addressed fully in this Friday's RC Basics. I'm doing a whole episode on it, but I thought I would just bring it up here real quick, just so you can know what we're talking about. Anyways, the question that he asked, which kind of just skims the surface, was, in real life, I have a particular truck that I have 15-inch wheels, and I want to, and 33-inch tires. It's a very normal combination, right? I think that's a 15 and a 350 or 315/75, whatever it works out, or just a 33-inch tire on a 15-inch rim. How do I want to build my truck to have that same combo? How do I scale that, right? And the quick answer is, well, 10th scale, it's very simple. You either multiply or divide by 10, right? That's why we have 15.5-inch rims. That in the real world is a 15.5-inch rim, which is a very common rim. 19s or a 19-inch rim, yada, yada. So a 33-inch tire is a 3.3-inch diameter tire, right? Now, like I said, I'm gonna go into this deeper. And that's why things like, in fact, let me grab these over here. That's why like a 2.2, which if you're in 10th scale, is a 22-inch rim, right? So, and if you take this in 10th scale, this is an enormous tire. I mean, you can, if I put it next to a cab, you can see it's as tall as, if not taller than a cab. You know what I mean? That's why these, your 2.2s are usually on bombers and things like that, which are really like an 8th scale vehicle. I think they consider them 10th scale, but really they're like an 8th scale. And that's why the 1.9s are so popular on a 10th scale, because it's a 19-inch rim, which is very popular in today's off-roading. In fact, like my Range Rover has a 19-inch wheel on it, right? That's what it comes with. So that's why you see 1.9s all the time now. Anyways, I was going to dive into this really in depth on what is scale, essentially. So the math of scale. Because then he brought even a better question, because that I thought was really intriguing, that I really want to dive into is, okay, that's great. We're talking about diameters, right? So that's a scale diameter of something, and that's how we scale it down. But what about the weight of something? Because that's these 1/10 scale trucks, that's what we talk about a lot, right? Is weight, add in weight to the axles. So why, what is, if we scale a full-size truck down in weight, what is that? Because a 2-ton truck or a 4,000-pound truck scaled down in weight, well, if we use the same math, just divide by 10, that's 400 pounds. Scaled down, but that's wrong, because now we're talking about volume, right? So we're talking about height, width, width, depth, and height now, right? We're talking about 3 dimensions. So you actually have to divide by 10 3 times. So a 4,000-pound truck to scale is 4 pounds, right? That's actually kind of light. Out of weight, like this thing right here. Oh, that's well more than 4 pounds. So why is that? And of course, we'll dive into this more. And the easy answer is if you take sheet metal or whatever a vehicle is made of, normally it's some kind of sheet metal like the hood of a truck, and you scale it down, well, it would be so thin it'd be like aluminum foil, right? You'd have no integrity, right? So you can't. It's when it comes to weight and volumes and that kind of thing, it's hard to stay scale, and then that's why we add weight. But again, I'm gonna do a full RC Basics episode of this, because I think about it all the time. Like when I build out this garage, everything I put in this garage, I'm thinking to scale. I'm thinking to 10th scale, right? Or when I 3D print a vise, or when I made, I made a fire extinguisher the other day. I have fire extinguishers here at the house, and I actually measured one, divided by 10, and that gives me my size, right? Like that's, to actually make it to scale. Anyway, so I think about it a lot. I don't know if you guys do, but I thought I'd do a full RC Basics episode. It might be a little nerdy, I don't know, but because to me, that's as basic as it gets when it gets to scale RC. So anyways, look for that this Friday, and I just want to thank Speedy Nunya for the question. I thought it was great. The questions were great, and I really enjoy those kind of things. The other thing I was going to mention is there's not anything necessarily new in the online store, but I am still signing. Frank and myself will still be glad to sign scripts to the RC shop. We have all these. These are the actual written out pages of script that we use in the RC shop. Frank and I would be happy to sign one of those and send them out to you for if you choose the $5 donation at the online store. I've had people do that already. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Your script pages are actually in the mail as we speak. They got dropped in the mail. They're on their way to you. Thank you again. It really helps in the channel. It really helps me keep this channel alive and moving forward. There is financial burdens, obviously, like building the Frank special. There is cost there, so I really appreciate you guys doing that. Help keeping this channel alive. And I don't want to go into that too much, but I just want to thank you guys for joining me again here on Wednesday for this vlog that I do. I really appreciate it. Give me those questions down in the comments section. I really enjoy those. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Be sure and favorite and share these videos as you see fit. And I will see you guys Friday for the RC Basics, and I will see you on Sunday for the RC Shop. Talk to you later. Bye.